first thing is I'm not very good about using microphones. My wife tells me every day I don't need a microphone. I talk loud enough. So if you can't hear me, just let me know. I'm not very good about it. So, but I feel like I can talk loud enough so everyone can hear me. So, first of all, I just want to welcome you here to the DARE graduation. How many people in the crowd have went through DARE at one point? I see there's one shirt up there. Okay, so what we'll do is, as we get into this, I'll kind of explain to you the changes in DARE. DARE has changed so much over the years, and now we've got this new program that we've really hit home to, and they've proven that it actually helps. So what you guys are used to in DARE, it's completely different now than what your kids went through. So with that, we'll do the Pledge of Allegiance. They're going to lead us through, so if you can all stand, face the flag, remove all hats. So the DARE program, or I guess before we get into the DARE program, for all of you that don't know me, my name is Deputy Damon Robish. I've been with the Beetle County Sheriff's Office now for about 6 years. Born and raised in the Huron area. My family actually farms right into Spink County, the Hofers, so I've been up this way pretty much my whole life. If you would have asked me when I went to college, I was going for criminal justice, but if you would have told me that I'd be back in this community and be back here in my home community being a cop, I would have told you no way. But I ended up back here. I got the opportunity to come back, serve in my home community, and honestly, I don't see myself leaving anytime soon. Okay, I love this community. I love coming up to Hitchcock. I love the Woolsey community. I love Huron. It's just kind of how it goes. But how I see it is I don't see it as Huron, I don't see it as Woolsey, and I don't see it as Hitchcock. Obviously, I see it as Beetle County, and I love Beetle County. So I don't plan on leaving anytime soon. So if you got younger kids, I guess you might get stuck with me for a while. But so DARE. So the program that started DARE was basically, these are drugs are bad, don't do drugs. Well, they found out as they were going through that the DARE program was failing. You know, we've all seen it in our world now. Drugs are out there, and drugs are bad. And I hate to admit it, but drugs are in Beetle County, and they're bad. Okay? So what they did is they said, we need to take this program and we need to revamp it because it's not working. So what they did is they came out with this new program. So now, what it is it's all about making decisions. So we still tell kids, drugs, these are drugs, don't do drugs, here's why you don't do drugs. So they took it a step farther. And then what they added is called the DARE decision-making model. So that's all about when you're faced with this, when you're faced with, hey, do you want to take some drugs? Okay, then you got to weigh the pros and the cons. It's going to make me feel good for a little bit, but it could ruin my life, right? So you got to weigh the pros and cons, you got to lay out all your decisions, and then you got to make a choice. And if you make the choice and you know that it's not the right choice, you got to start over. So that's called the DARE decision-making model. So we used it in everyday life. So every week that I came here, we went through it. And it's something as easy as waking up in the morning to go to school. Do you have a choice every morning to go to school? No. So, but it's with everyday life. In every situation you're faced with life, you have more than one choice to make. And it's all about which choice you're going to make. And it's all about making the best choice. Okay, so the analogy I always use is the old DARE program was you just get home from the store and you bought a bunch of cookies and you tell your kids, you put them on the table and you say, here, I got you some cookies, but don't take them, and you walk out of the room. What are your kids going to probably do? Take them. Because you're not giving them enough facts. You're not giving them enough facts. You're not telling them how it's going to ruin their life. You're not explaining them the why. Okay, so it does work. So some of it's a little touchy-feely. It's, I'm sure the kids could tell you, they probably got sick of hearing me say, all right, you got to write it all out, write all your choices out. Well, I wrote 2 down. Nope, you got 5 choices. You got 10 choices. You got 20 choices. Write them all out. Okay, we had fun along the way. I think we heard a bunch of stuff about rocket launchers or something. But we ultimately, at the end of the day, we decided that that was not the best choice. It might have been the funniest choice, but it wasn't the best choice. So the DARE program is really revamped, and it really has been good. Okay, they came back with studies, and kids are liking it a lot more. They have a lot more fun. They enjoy doing it, and they're not left with so many questions of, well, why are drugs bad? You tell me I shouldn't do them, but why are they bad? Okay, so the first week we really hammered home the health effects of it and things that are bad for you and why you shouldn't do it. Okay, so along the way we talked about consequences. You know, every situation you're in life, you have consequences. There's pros and there's cons, right? We talked about bullying. Don't be bullying. We talked about listening at home and in school. We talked about communication. If you can't communicate well, good luck. Someone's going to tell you that, you know, they're going to ask you if you want drugs and you're looking away or you're shy about it. You think they're going to keep asking you? They're probably going to keep asking them. But if you're pretty confident and they know that you're not going to do them, they're probably not going to ask you a whole lot more. We talked about, I already said bullying. We talked about communication, listening. What else?
Health facts.
Yep, the health facts. This is your test. Empathy. Yep, good job. So the new program is more of a step process and not just 10 weeks of introducing different kinds of drugs. Because as 5th graders, hopefully they're not getting introduced to them. So that's really all I got about the new DARE program. It is, I believe in it. It is really good. And with this community, I was just talking to Mr. Clark about it. I love coming up here. I love coming up, and I love teaching these kids in Hitchcock. I love all the classes, but there's always something different about coming up to Hitchcock. The kids listen. They're engaged. They're fun. They get involved. They don't complain. I don't have to ask them to do their homework. You know, I give them homework every week. It takes you, 30 seconds?
Yeah.
So it's not real homework, but they don't complain about it. They get it done. Okay, a lot of that goes to Mrs. Berry too, you know. So I love this community, and I want to thank the kids a lot for going through it. So with that, we will go into their essays. So just like they kept that from the old program, everyone had to write a DARE essay. So we're going to hear all about their essays and their experience in DARE.
I am Miranda. This year in DARE, I learned a lot. Deputy Robish taught us this year. Here are some facts you need to know. Alcohol is bad for anyone under the age of 21 because the body cannot handle it. There are 88,000 alcohol-related deaths each year in the U.S. Too much alcohol can slow down the body and lead to a coma or maybe even death. Deputy Robish is great, wonderful at his job. I am super thankful that he came this year.
In DARE, I learned a lot about drug facts. I thought I knew a ton about smoking and alcohol and things like that. I was pretty excited don't want your friends to dump you. For example, you could just walk away, change the subject, say no, and give an excuse, and avoiding the situation. I really like DARE, and I hope you do too. I want to thank Deputy Rubish for teaching us about DARE and how to get yourself through or a friend out of a situation involving drugs. I will plan on using this for when I get older because my family likes to go places we have not been before. We have gone to Tennessee, Arizona, and Florida, and we plan on going to more places in the future. I hope you like the next year because it is fun and you get cool T-shirts when you finish there. I tell myself if you give the universe will give you. DARE helps you with real life situations. DARE helped me to do better stuff. To do better stuff. It is not just about drugs and alcohol or any of that. Like it also helps with other things like taking a breath when you're frustrated and taking good choices. Sincerely, Asher Gamer.
Hi, my name is Aaron Creason. I'm new to this class, but so far things have gone really well. I was able to participate in a few their classes. They were interesting. What I remember most is not to bully or be a bystander. I also learned to make good decisions and tell the right people about things that are happening. I also have learned other things from experiences. Thank you, Deputy Robish, for allowing me to graduate today and for the t-shirt. My name is Maddie Decker, and I'm going to tell you what I have learned in DARE. DARE has taught me to make good decisions. The DARE decision-making model is define, assess, respond, and evaluate. This model helps you to describe the problem, what kind of choices do you have, to make a choice, and to ask yourself if that was a good decision. In my life, I will use this model to make good decisions. I have also learned that smoking and drinking alcohol is very bad for you. If you drink alcohol when you are a teenager, there are worse effects than adults because their bodies are still growing. If you smoke, you are very likely to get lung cancer because there are more than 200 harmful chemicals in one cigarette. DARE has also taught me to communicate better. DARE has taught me to communicate confidently. Words are very important, so if you use them the wrong way, it could lead to somewhere bad. I hope to remember these things so I can use them in my life. Thank you, Deputy Robish, for teaching us all these things.
Hi, my name is Gabriella Gilbert. I love DARE. I have learned to be confident and plan to be in the future. I will not be demanding or unsure. My favorite part of DARE is when we work in partners as a team. We learned about stress. Embarrassment is a way I get stressed. Sometimes when I can tell my friends are stressed is when they're not talking. When I am stressed, I might need to talk to someone. There is a difference between pressure and peer pressure. Peer pressure is when someone your age is trying to get you to do something. Pressure is a force that acts on you to do something. When that happens to me, I will take a breather. We also learned about risky problems like playing with fire. I will make sure to ask an adult to start a fire. We also learned about responsible and safe choices. In the future, when I have a decision to make, it would be best to go with the safe option. Thank you, Deputy Robish, for teaching us DARE.
Hello, my name is Lily Lee Hughes, and I'm a part of the Keep It Real DARE class this year of 2025. And DARE stands for Define, Assess, Respond, and Evaluate. And I'm here to tell you, if you listen to me for over 2 to 3 minutes, or just that, but there is 200 known chemicals in a cigarette. And it's really bad for your lungs, and it can cause, guess what, cancer. And drinking and driving don't mix, but there is more than 480 tobacco-related deaths each year. And smoking can cause heart disease and lung cancer. Can you believe a tiny little thing can kill almost 45,000 people per year? It can cause wrinkles and bad breath. It's too stinky, and chewing tobacco is stinky, like really stinky. And don't drink underage because it is illegal to drink and drive. And the 4th or 5th time you can go to jail and can lead you into a coma or death. Some health effects are loss of coordination and poor judgment skill, and slow reflexes. And it can, and it's also really bad for you. Also, if you smoke, it if you smoke, what would you smoke death? Just think what will happen to the person beside you, behind you, or even in front of you. You might not care about yourself, but others do. Last thing, that you shouldn't smoke or etc. Did you know vaping is bad for your lungs? And it's worse than a cigarette. A cigarette has rat poison in it. And just think, we don't want rat killer in our lungs. Also, thank you so much, Deputy Robish, for teaching my awesome and super crazy class. My name is Lucas. You may think about why DARE is so great, because it teaches you what to do and not to do. Like, if you were talking about drugs and one of your friends asks you, do you want to go get some, you could say no. That is an excellent choice. When you do get offered it, you know what to do when someone tries to get you to take it. But DARE tells you how to respond and assess the problem. Once it has been fixed, you can tell yourself, did you make the right decision? And if you did, that was a good choice that you have made. But now they might try it again, but taking it is the wrong choice. And you must make it up for whatever there is and wrongs. But it might not be the right choice. Like, if you really want to, but like, what if you were helping and someone takes you to ask you a question? But what if you do get into a problem where you need to decide which one's right? Whenever you need help, go to DARE. It will help you a lot. But by deciding whenever you need to choose between both things. Do not choose any wrong options. It has consequences, but whenever you find a cigarette, throw it away because Dare does not like to see those at all. Thank you, Deputy Robish, for helping us make those right choices.
Hi, my name is Emma Enid, and my most favorite part of the day is Dare. Deputy Robish makes Dare so fun to learn about. We learn how to handle stress, how to handle being put in peer pressure, how to handle being in scary situations like being asked if we want drugs, and a ton more. I will use Deputy Robish's lessons and facts to help me what to do in the future. Here I will share some facts that I learned in Dare. Did you know that there are more than 400,000 Americans die from tobacco in a year, and 88,000 alcohol-related deaths each year in the U.S.? Secondhand smoke causes 45,000 deaths per year. I am going to use Deputy Robish's facts to help me stay away from drugs, abuse, and alcohol. We need to treat our bodies better by not drinking, not doing drugs, and not smoking. We don't want to hurt our bodies, but the people around us either. If we smoke around people, they could get secondhand smoke. Alcohol does a lot to our bodies, like a loss of memory, slow reflexes, loss of coordination, poor judgment, loss of self-control, and it weakens the heart muscle. Thank you, Deputy Robish, for teaching us these facts.
Hi, my name is Riel Knott, and I'm in the DARE program. DARE stands for Define, Assess, Respond, and Evaluate. We have practiced these steps every day. Deputy Robish has taught us a lot of important things in DARE, like what is in a cigarette, how to talk confidently, the facts about alcohol and tobacco use,
Americans die from tobacco-related causes each year. My favorite thing about DARE is that we learn new things like how to calm yourself down in stressful situations and how to respond to people in good ways. Some things that calm me down is to read or even count to 5 helps. Thank you, Deputy Robish, for teaching us.
Hello, I am Bellingham, and for the past few weeks, my classmates and I have been doing DARE, and I really like it, because I'm learning new things about why you shouldn't do drugs, drink alcohol, or smoke cigarettes. Now I would like to thank Deputy Robish for spending his time to teach us these things. A few reasons why you shouldn't smoke is because it contains nicotine, and it's very addictive. There are also more than 200 known harmful chemicals in cigarette smoke. More than 480,000 Americans die from tobacco-related causes each year. In the United States, it is illegal to sell tobacco to anyone under the age of 21. Alcohol is also illegal for anyone under 21. Did you know most teens don't drink alcohol? There are 88,000 alcohol-related deaths in the United States each year. Alcohol slows the body and brain. Some effects include loss of coordination, poor judgment, memory loss of self-control, and slow reflexes. Alcohol goes directly into the bloodstream and can damage every organ in your body. It also weakens the heart and produces blood pumped from the heart. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Luke Knoll. This year of DARE was amazing. DARE was my favorite class. Did you know there are more than 200 harmful chemicals in cigarette smoke? The DDMM, or DARE decision-making model, is what we learned about along with health facts. I'm going to tell you about DARE and what it stands for. The D stands for define. Describe the problem, challenge, or opportunity. The A stands for assess. What are your choices? The R stands for respond. Make a choice. Use the facts and information you have gathered. The E stands for evaluate. Review your decision. Did you make a good choice? Thank you, Deputy Robish, for taking the time to teach us about DARE.
Hi, my name is Abby Wagner, and Deputy Robish has taught us well. He taught us how to handle different situations with our DARE decision-making. We have also been taught how to talk confidently in different ways to say no. Did you know that a cigarette has more than 200 harmful chemicals? And one of them is nicotine, a powder substance that causes addiction. And some effects of smoking are lung cancer, yellow teeth, respiratory problems, and bad breath. Alcohol is illegal for anyone under 21. Alcohol will slow the brain and body down. Two health effects are memory loss and slow reflexes. A lot of people do not know it is very dangerous to take medicine with alcohol, but it is. All these things are very addictive and dangerous. Thank you, Deputy Robish, for teaching me all this great stuff. I will be using all these great techniques in the future.
All right, let's give them all one more round of applause. It takes a lot of guts for them to get up here and read those reports, okay? They're all really good, but it takes a lot of guts, and that's what we talked about, is talking confidently, so we're hoping that they can keep the trend going. So now we'll start with the certificates. Sorry, I lost the word. Oh, Miss Berry's come up. And I told them to pause if you want to get pictures and stuff.
Gilbert. Lily Hughes. Lucas Hughes. Emma Enid. Riel Knock. Claire Nassett. Jaden Mitchell. Bentley Noel. Luke Noel. Abby Wagner.
All right, so the last 10 weeks, I obviously had the privilege of being with your kids, and now I'm just going to have a 30-second challenge with you guys. To the parents, to the grandparents, to all of you, as they explained and as you heard, we gave them the information. We told them about it. We gave them the why not to do it. Now I challenge you guys to help them with that. Okay? If you see, their kids are going to make the wrong decision. Okay? But now I challenge you to be there for your kids when they do make the wrong decision. Now you can punish them, but at the same time, you got to be there for your kids. You got to be there for them as they grow up. Life is tough. This world has changed so much. They need your help through the way. So I challenge you as grandparents, aunts, uncles, anyone here, just be there for them. If you see someone falling off, just be there for them. Kids are going to make mistakes. That's what kids do. But be there for them and help them along the way. So that's my challenge to you guys before we go. The last thing I want to do is I want to thank Miss Barry for letting me come into the classroom and basically giving me free range. Sometimes as an hour's text away with our crazy schedule, but she's been great to work with. She always makes it work. She knows this program works. She's a big influence in it. You know, there's been times that I'm supposed to come and she plans around it and I can't make it. Okay, so I want to thank you for always working around my schedule. I want to thank Mr. Clark for allowing us to come into the school and allowing us to be here. If you have any school board members too, make sure you thank them. There's some schools that won't allow us to go in and teach this program, and I do think it's important and I do believe in it. So I want to thank Mr. Clark and anyone else that has anything to do with it. And lastly, lastly, again, I want to thank the kids for all of their participation and willingness to learn. And it makes it a lot easier to teach when kids are engaged and when kids want to do things and when you're not having to force them through the motions, I guess. So I want to thank the kids. So we'll line up and take one good class photo for everyone, and then after that, that is the end of it for me.